Okay, I want to tell you a little bit about the hidden children. For 46 years, the hidden children were practically ignored. The reason we were sort of ignored, it was also a little bit our fault, because we felt, for one reason or another, that we were not, how could we possibly compare ourselves to people who were in a concentration camp? And also, we were told by the survivors, you were too young, you didn't remember, you didn't suffer. And then there were guilt, you know? I'm speaking for myself now. I felt guilty that I was alive and my aunt lost 2 children. So we did not talk about these things very much. We had lived in the shadows of camp survivors. We were thought to have been too young, lucky ones for having escaped the camps. We were never asked how we felt or what we had experienced. And we were told, you were fine, you were just a kid, what do you know? You don't remember. And it kind of undermined our whole perspective. And everybody kind of ignored the massive psychological trauma that we had endured. So just a little bit I'll tell you about it. We hid in boxes and forests and barns and cellars and wardrobes. Some found refuge in convents and in Christian homes. We were anguished at being separated from our parents, sometimes more than once. And it was necessary to adjust radically and very quickly to new surroundings, to new names, to whole new histories of who we were supposed to be. Now I'm talking about the ones who knew who they were. Of course, babies didn't have that because they were babies. We were denied love and trust. We grew up with fear and learned to distrust. We were old before we were young, and we were robbed of our childhood and deprived of freedom and joy. We learned to hear anti-Semitic remarks and not react. We lived in silence, without hugs, kisses, or even a kind word sometimes. And quite often, hunger was our only companion. In order to survive, we needed all our energies, to have our wits about us, to be resourceful, to be constantly on guard because there was a potential hazard or an enemy around every corner. Trembling with fear of being discovered, and with the lack of emotional support, feelings had to be repressed and frozen. And let me tell you, we know how to keep secrets, and we know how to keep quiet. After the war, more readjustments. Some of us were lucky to be reunited with parents whom they barely remembered, and some with other relatives. Too young to be in control of our lives, others again decided our fate. Many had to fend for themselves, adjust to new freedoms, for they had no one. They had to go to new surroundings, to new countries, learn new languages, and some had nowhere to go because no one claimed them. So they had no choice but to stay where they were. And of course, some of these people are here with us. Well, we talked about the righteous among the nations, and I've got one right here with you, a real hero.